let's transition to the Western Conference and let's talk about the Phoenix Suns versus the Denver Nuggets. The Suns are the 4 seed. The Nuggets are the number 1 seed in the Western Conference. During the regular season, these two teams matched up 4 times. They split the season series in their matchups, and the Suns are minus 146 to win this series. So they're the favorite over the Nuggets, which is a little significant. That's significant, minus 146. That's what Vegas has it at the moment. And in their matchups in the regular season, 3 of them were insignificant because one of them came before the trading deadline when Mikal Bridges was still on the Phoenix Suns. And I think on Christmas, they matched up against each other. And Devin Booker left that game with a groin injury. And then they matched up twice after the trading deadline, but the Nuggets did not play their starters in neither one of those 2 matchups. But just to give you a few of these numbers between the two teams in their 4 matchups this year, the Nuggets average 116 points per game. The Suns average 110 points per game. The Nuggets shoot 49% from the floor. The Suns shoot 46% from the floor. The Suns shot better from 3-point range. They shot 40% from the 3. The Nuggets shot 35% from the 3. So let's start off with the Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns, they beat the Clippers in the first round. They beat them 4-1, and Devin Booker was the best player for the Phoenix Suns in the first round. He completely dominated the LA Clippers. Devin Booker in the first round, he averaged 37 points per game on 60% shooting and 47% from 3-point range. 47% from 3-point range, 60% overall. Devin Booker was superb in the first round for the Suns. And Ty Lue and the Clippers, they had a strategy to double Kevin Durant. And Devin Booker made them pay in the first round. I mean, I think he had at least 2 40-point games. I know he had a 40-point game in game 5, I believe. But I think he had another one in LA. I can't remember if it was game 3 or game 4. But Devin Booker was sensational in the first round. And also, in the regular season, Devin Booker played at a very, very high level. During the regular season, Devin Booker, he averaged 28 points per game in 35 minutes average per game. So Devin Booker has been playing some great basketball since Kevin Durant arrived in Phoenix. And honestly, since the beginning of the season, he's been playing well. But remember, earlier part of the season, he was dealing with that groin injury that kept him out for a significant amount of time. But he's showing why he is universally recognized as one of the best young players in the NBA. Now, Kevin Durant, in the series against the Clippers, he averaged 28 points per game on 52% shooting from the floor, shot 46% from 3-point range, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. And Kevin Durant and Devin Booker is the most dynamic duo in the NBA. I know I always say that it's Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, but I believe that Kevin Durant, he's an all-time great already. He's an all-time great already. And so we know that Kevin Durant can get his shot whenever, however, on whoever. And him and Devin Booker in the first round, this was Kevin Durant and Devin Booker combined. They averaged 66 points per game on 57% shooting from the floor, shot 46% from 3-point range, 91% from the free throw line. So from a scoring perspective, I don't think there's a better duo in the NBA other than Kevin Durant and Devin Booker right now, because they are tremendous mid-range shooters. They shoot at a high level from a mid-range perspective. And I think that's where they are deadly, because they can get to the rim and finish at the rim, but they can also hit mid-range shots and perimeter shots. But if you foul Durant or Booker, they hit their free throws at a high level. They go to the free throw line and they knock down free throws at a very, very high level. So I believe that Kevin Durant now being on the Phoenix Suns, it's made Devin Booker an even better player, because you can't just double Kevin Durant. Look at what happened. If I'm Mike Malone and I'm Nuggets, there's no way I'm going to double Kevin Durant, because Devin Booker will make you pay. Now, we know Kevin Durant also, if you play him one-on-one, he can get his anytime he wants. But I'd rather take my chances playing Booker and Durant one-on-one than doubling Kevin Durant and allowing Booker to go off for 45 against me. So that has to be the game plan and the strategy for the Nuggets from a defensive standpoint. Like, I would look at that film in the series against the Clippers, and I would do the exact opposite of what Ty Lue did. And not taking nothing away from Ty Lue, but they forced Devin Booker to have to beat them, and he took advantage of it. He's shown he can definitely take advantage of it. So if I'm Mike Malone, I'm not going to double Kevin Durant. I'm not. I'm going to take my chances, and they're going to score their points anyway. No matter what, Kevin Durant and Devin Booker is going to score at a high level. You just got to try to contain Devin Booker and Kevin Durant and try to get physical, because that was the reason why the Celtics were able to sweep the Nets last year in the playoffs. Kevin Durant got swept last year by the Boston Celtics. It was because Ime Udoka, he basically got physical with Kevin Durant, and Kevin Durant last year in the playoffs, he did not elevate his game to the physicality that was necessary for the Nets to compete in that series against the Celtics. I think it was game 3. Kevin Durant shot 11 shots. 11 shots. That is unacceptable if you are Kevin Durant. So that's going to be one of the keys for the Nuggets defensively to not double Kevin Durant and try to play one-on-one defense, even though that's not going to work either. But that's your best option. I don't think doubling Kevin Durant is going to be good for the Nuggets. You look at Kevin Durant and the Suns' record and what they've been able to do since Kevin Durant's been with the Suns. They are 12-1 with Kevin Durant. This includes the playoffs. Kevin Durant's averaging 27 points per game on 55% shooting from the floor, shooting 51% from three-point range, plus minus is plus 109. So Kevin Durant has definitely made the Suns better. The problem with the Phoenix Suns is they only go 6 deep, and they have no depth. The pro to trading for Kevin Durant is you get an all-time great player and one of the greatest scorers in NBA history. The con to trading for a player the caliber of a Kevin Durant, you give up your depth. They gave up Cam Johnson. They gave up Jay Crowder. They gave up Mikal Bridges to get Kevin Durant. So you don't have any depth on this Phoenix Suns basketball team. Their starting 5, they have Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, Ayton, and Craig as well. Torrey Craig. And then they got Okogie off the bench and Biyombo. And that's it. They go 7 deep. And in the playoffs, when you go up against teams like the Warriors and the Celtics who go 8, 9 deep, you got to be able to match them. And I don't know if the Suns have the necessary depth to be able to match these other teams in the playoffs. You look at the most minutes this postseason played, the most minutes. Kevin Durant is averaging 44 minutes per game. Devin Booker is averaging 43 minutes per game. Chris Paul is averaging 39 minutes per game. So Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and Kevin Durant, you got to ask the question, and the question has to be, do they have enough tread on those tires throughout the course of an NBA playoffs to get to the NBA Finals? Do they have enough? Because they're playing high minutes. There's a lot of minutes they're playing. 44 minutes for KD, 43 minutes for Booker, 39 minutes for Chris Paul. We know how old Chris Paul is. And the more minutes Chris Paul plays, the more susceptible he is to getting injured, unfortunately. I hope he doesn't get injured. I pray Chris Paul does not get injured during this playoff run for the Phoenix Suns. But we know that it's a reality that has happened time and time again for Chris Paul throughout his career. So that's the biggest weakness for the Phoenix Suns. They have no depth. Their strength is they have two of the better scorers in the NBA in Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. Now, the Phoenix Suns, they are coached by Monty Williams. Monty Williams has coached 703 games in his career. He's won 367 of those games, lost 336. So he's won 52% of his games. He won NBA Coach of the Year in 2022. He also led the Phoenix Suns to an NBA Finals appearance 2 years ago. So Monty Williams is a proven head coach in the NBA. He's proven. I wouldn't say that he's top 3 or top 5, but I'll say Monty Williams is a top 10 coach in the NBA, and he's definitely respected. Players love to play for Monty Williams as a head coach. Now, when I look at the Denver Nuggets, obviously in the regular season, Nikola Jokic was sensational. He was an NBA MVP candidate, and during the regular season, he played at a high level. Nikola Jokic for the regular season, he averaged 25 points per game. He averaged 12 rebounds per game and 10 assists per game. The three NBA MVP candidates to me are Giannis, Joker, and Embiid. What makes the Joker different from Embiid and Giannis is his ability to pass the basketball. Embiid, he doesn't pass as well as the Joker. Neither does Giannis. The Joker is a tremendous passer as a big man. He's probably the best passer when it comes to big men in the NBA. He really, really is. The man averaged 10 assists per game this year. 10 assists per game. His ability to kick the ball out to Jamal Murray, to Michael Porter, to Caldwell Pope, the shooters that the Nuggets have on their team, that is something that separates the Joker from Giannis and from Embiid. That's his biggest case for NBA MVP, if you ask me, because I think he is an all-around player as a big man. He can score. I don't think he's as dominant as a scorer as a Giannis or an Embiid, but he can score in his own right. But he also rebounds at a high level. He averaged 12 rebounds per game during the regular season. So he definitely can rebound the basketball. The problem with the Joker is defensively. Embiid and Giannis are both better than him defensively. And the Nuggets, as a team, they weren't great defensively this year. And if you get Nikola Jokic in the pick and roll, I believe that he could be a liability defensively. And that is one of the knocks on the Joker. He can be a liability from a defensive standpoint. We know what he brings offensively, but defensively, he is one of the weak links of the Nuggets defense overall as their center. There's times where teams literally attack Nikola Jokic, and that is an issue, especially when you're going up against a team like the Phoenix Suns, who have players who can create off the dribble like Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. Now, one bright spot for the Denver Nuggets is Jamal Murray is officially back, ladies and gentlemen. During the regular season, Jamal Murray, he averaged 20 points per game, 6 assists per game. And in the regular season, he elevated his game to an even higher level for the Denver Nuggets. Murray averaged 27 points per game on 47% shooting from the floor, shot 43% from three-point range. And down the stretch in those games, especially in games 3, 4, and 5 against the Timberwolves, I thought Jamal Murray started elevating his game and playing at a high level again. I remember in the bubble, the Nuggets and the Jazz were in a first round matchup. In the bubble, it was Jamal Murray versus Donovan Mitchell. And Jamal Murray went shot for shot with Donovan Mitchell in that first round playoff series between the Nuggets and the Jazz. And he got injured, and we were wondering if Jamal Murray could get back to playing at that level. And I think he's been able to do that. And he actually led the Nuggets in scoring in their first round matchup against the Timberwolves. He averaged 27. The Joker averaged 26. So I believe in order for the Nuggets to have a chance at being able to win this series, they got to have Jamal Murray playing at a high level. He got to play at a high level in this series. That's one of the keys for the Denver Nuggets. Now, another key for the Denver Nuggets is going to be their outside production from players not named Murray or Jokic. Michael Porter, in the first round against the Timberwolves, he averaged 16 points per game. I think Michael Porter can be a fourth option on the championship team, but if he elevates his game, he could be a third option. And I think that's what it's going to take to be able to offset the scoring from Durant and Booker. You're going to need Michael Porter to play at a high level in this series. It can't just be Murray and Jokic. I think Porter is going to also have to contribute from a scoring perspective for the Nuggets to have a chance to win this series. So when I look at the Nuggets overall, offensively, they're great. I think they're one of the best teams offensively in the NBA, but they struggle on the defensive side of the floor. That's been the Achilles heel for the Denver Nuggets so far this season. Defensively, their defensive rating is tied for 14th in the NBA. Tied for 14th. So they have to get better defensively. They got to get better. I'm wondering, like when I look at the matchups, I think Mike Malone is going to put Gordon on KD, and he's probably going to put Caldwell Pope on Devin Booker. And I'm interested to see if the Nuggets not necessarily stop Durant and Booker, but contain Durant and Booker. That's going to be key. Like I said, offensively, their offensive rating is 5th in the NBA. Defensive rating is tied for 14th. So defensively, the Nuggets are going to have to play much better defense against the Suns compared to what they did against the Timberwolves. Against the Timberwolves in games, man, I'm looking at these numbers. In games 2, 3, 4, and 5, the Timberwolves were able to score 100 points. In game 2, the Timberwolves, they scored 113 against the Nuggets. In game 3, the Timberwolves scored 111 against the Nuggets. In game 4, the Timberwolves scored 114 against the Nuggets. In game 5, the Timberwolves scored 109. So defensively, the Nuggets have to play better. They got to play better. So that's going to be a point of emphasis for the Nuggets. So those are my keys for the Nuggets. Jamal Murray playing at a high level again. The Nuggets elevating their defensive intensity. And also Michael Porter playing at a high level as a third contributor and a third option on this Nuggets basketball team. For the Suns, one of my keys is going to be the production from the bench. They got to get some production from the bench. Cameron Payne did come back and play in game 5 in the first round series. Cameron Payne is going to be key because I think he can definitely help the Suns from a scoring perspective. Cameron Payne, during the regular season, Cameron Payne, he averaged 10 points per game. So Cameron Payne can definitely give you quality minutes off the bench. He's going to have to do it. It can't just be Biyombo and Okogie. Cameron Payne has to contribute as well. But that's one of my keys for the Suns. And Kevin Durant has to be able to match the physicality in this series. He got to be able to match the physicality as well. And I think the Suns, they got to be able to hit their pull up jump shots. And these two teams, when you look at their like from a jump shot perspective, they're completely the opposite. The Suns offensively, they rely on a lot of pull up jump shooting. They were ranked first in the NBA in pull up jump shots per game. They averaged 35 pull up jumpers per game. The Nuggets are the complete opposite. The Nuggets, they were ranked 18th in the NBA in pull-up jump shots. They attempt 24 pull-up jump shots per game. So the Suns are more of a mid-range jump shooting team. The Nuggets are more on the interior with Jokic, and they can also hit perimeter shots as well. Now, when I look at the two head coaches in this matchup, Monty Williams versus Mike Malone, I think these two coaches are going to offset each other. I don't think Michael Malone or Monty Williams, either one of them are necessarily better than the other. Michael Malone, he's coached in 743 games in his career. So he's 406 and 337 as a head coach. He's won 55% of his games. I think him and Monty Williams are going to cancel each other out. So I think that from a coaching perspective, they are evenly matched, the Suns and the Nuggets. This is going to be a great matchup, though. I think this series is definitely going to go the distance. I got it going 7 games. And coming into the playoffs, I picked the Suns to get to the Western Conference Finals against the Warriors. I'm going to stick with that pick, and I'm going to roll with the Suns to beat the Nuggets in the Western Conference semifinals in 7 games. So I'm going Suns in 7 over the Nuggets. I think Kevin Durant and Devin Booker will outplay Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic in this series. And I believe that the Suns will get back to the Western Conference Finals.